was, honestly. I'm not even joking. No, I'm part of the Clam Shack crew.
The remnants. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty Italian. My grandmother's maiden name was Kielbasa, so you might literally. So you might wonder where my family's from.
Are we live? Is that rolling?
I went live.
Okay. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure.
How live are we? Does everyone know our last names now?
We're so live, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's see if we're live here.
We're doxxed.
We are doxxed. Do we dox ourselves?
No. I mean,
hey, everyone in the chat room. Here we are.
His name is his YouTube name.
It's true. It's true. I don't think he's going to really give it away.
yeah. I'm not too worried about it.
So that's us right there.
It is.
That is us.
And there's Rick V-Dub in the chat room. What's going on, Rick? Thanks for coming out this week.
It's like Inception.
Tim Connors, what's going on? Ransom Garage.
Like a screen inside of a screen, you know?
Wait, how's Ransom Garage in the room when he was just here and he lives an hour away?
That's wild.
Were we bullshitting for that long?
Yep.
Oh, wow. What time is it?
7:30.
Oh,
We're right on time.
Yeah.
What time's our flight tomorrow?
Our flight leaves Boston at it boards at 5:15
Oh, good.
in the AM.
What time do you have to get there?
4:15.
What time are you waking up?
2:50.
Where are you going?
We're going to LA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Our buddy's getting married. Big shout to Englishman.
How long you guys be out there?
He's going for what? You going
I'm
for
going to be there for a week and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going
Yeah.
for 4 days.
I'm filming in Huntington Beach starting Tuesday.
Oh,
What are you
nice.
filming? Anything good? We talk about it later?
Yeah.
Can we talk about it? Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Sweet.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
glad- I'm gonna
be
miss it.
there.
Great.
Yeah. He leaves. I'm going to be there.
I leave Monday at midnight. Perfect.
Yeah.
Ransom Garage says he's on the Pike.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Please stop. Please stop texting.
We got a committed crew. We got
on the pike or the pipe?
Pipe.
Pike. Mass Pike.
Mass Pike.
Also
yeah.
on the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah. He's on the pipe on the pipe.
He's in
It's making a good time.
Astasia. He was just here. You just missed him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in Astasia.
Astasia driving back home. He lives in Western Mass area, but he's a committed fan. So
I like it.
Scott Averone, big shout out.
it's
Corey's
committed
dad in
fan.
the room.
Dad. There you go. Shouts to Dad.
Well,
committed fan.
shouts to everybody in the chat room. We're going to do something a little bit different today. Clearly, we have a guest here, and we're going to do the interview first, so we don't have to make him wait because he has a lengthy drive, and we were very appreciative for him making that effort to get to us and hang out with us for a little while. So, obviously, pre-party started. We're going to hang out here for a couple more minutes, and we'll get started with the interview, and then after we're done with the interview, we will take a brief pause and come right back to finish the rest of the show.
Shook, you should have an intermission thing you can put up during the brief pause.
All these demands.
Come on, buddy.
You can't whip up a song real quick?
A song?
And we're depending on you in the chat room to tell everyone who stumbles into this what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. as we're opening the door for Matt and saying bye, you can just come on mic by yourself and entertain everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You could sing a song, In the Arms of an Angel. That should give us enough time.
That's what I
Acoustic.
listen to on the way home every
The
night.
acoustic.
It's a 2-hour version of In the Arms of an Angel.
I listen to 10 hours on repeat, that yeah song with He-Man.
Oh, God.
That 100-hour video.
Hey.com.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the best.
You're the Man Now Dog. Remember those?
Oh, YTMD.
YTMNDs.
What's going on in Utah right now?
Utah's just killing it right now.
Is it?
No, I don't go to Utah unless it's snowing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I stay clear.
Staying clear, Utah.
They have good snow.
They do, man. The snow in Utah.
I'm saying, yeah, you 2 or
yeah,
3 times this past winter.
Twice as
Twice?
winter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. Whew.
Where do you go out there?
We usually go to Powder Mountain.
Okay. Powder's good.
Powder's awesome. We spent 10 days at Powder this year. It was crazy.
There's like a luxury yurt at the top of the thing?
Yeah, there was no luxury in my trip. I mean, we had a nice place, but it was just it was just me and a couple buddies. It was every day. I tried to get my wife to show up, and she's like, "You're just gonna be skiing in the woods for 10 days straight, right?" Yep. All right, I'm not going. So she gets.
I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah.
Love.
Quickly out. I think we can get rolling unless you have any last-minute questions. You pretty good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Actually, I'll give you kind of a brief. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about Haggerty. Going to talk about why we think they're putting out some of the best content, truly, and just kind of go from there.
I'm here to answer all of your Haggerty-related questions, except for why you can't insure your Ariel Atom in the state of Massachusetts.
I love it. It was addressed.
I don't work on the insurance side.
Yeah.
You hear that, Igor? It's addressed for you.
There it is.
Shouts to Igor. Adam looking good.
It's because they're slow. That's
I
what
did
he
see
said. That's
you
what he said
and,
earlier.
who was it, Eddie, messing with the other day?
He can't keep the car straight. It's got a K20 in the back, big turbo on it, makes 350 to the wheels, weighs 1,600 pounds.
that's a good
As soon as it hits
combination.
boost, turns around.
Well, I mean, we'll get some stickier tires.
Yeah, no, he's working on it. He's a very
Arrow.
incredibly good driver. It's got a ton of arrow. It's got the big arrow kit on it. Oh my god, great driver. But the car was tuned someone tuned it to just make the most possible power on a dyno and not as opposed to make it not kill you on a track. So
What's the local track here? Is like Palmer?
Thompson's
Thompson?
really close.
Palmer's kind of close.
Palmer.
Okay.
Thompson's
and
probably
Lime Rock.
closest to us. Yeah, Lime Rock's
And the Canaan.
Lime Rock's
3-ish
Yeah,
hours,
Canaan.
something like that. Thompson's cool.
like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, Thompson's really cool.
Thompson's the old.
It's a hidden gem that
Yeah,
we
it is.
talk
Thompson's
about
awesome.
really often.
Yeah.
Thompson's the old skid racing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
little skip scap.
I mean, they
Racing.
do everything. Big road course.
That's a
They have an
smoke racing.
oval for a bunch of what are those? Obviously
Whatever those
stock
guys
cars,
do.
but I can't remember their
Yeah.
name. Modified.
Modifieds, and they do kids like go karts.
Yeah.
Like
And then
modified
a
go-karts.
large portion of it's actually really cool. We were there this past weekend on Friday. 3 parts of the track were open for drifting at the same time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Skid pad, oval section, and road course, which
my
is called
car is
Clubhouse.
It's
Super,
also
super
it's
cool.
a ton of fun track day track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big straight on it. Really nice like tight back section. It's like what is it? 2 miles long?
I don't
I
know.
think
only,
just
I
over.
only
I think
drift like a quarter of it.
2.11.
Is he the track representative?
He's
He's the
I
on-
just drive
Yeah.
occasionally.
Yeah. 'cause
Well, he was
He
last
used
year.
to drift. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole story to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 10-year, decade-long E36 build that he started.
You know
this
when
summer.
you buy a box of
this year.
Legos and you haven't built it yet? That's what it
Yes.
looks like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's
But
got.
it was built, and then I was like,
It has a 302 in it. Like it's not a normal
small
person
block
thing.
V8.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a
So
thing.
it makes as much power as a stock 6-cylinder, but it makes Mustang noises.
It's an
But
abomination.
it causes a real ruckus.
Yeah, it's true.
And our man's, I have to say, he claims he's a wheel man. He was wheeling it pretty good last year.
Yeah.
He did tell us he was a wheelman today when we were eating in the
And
parking
what
lot.
really gives you the best, practice to keep long term and gain those skills is not driving for an entire year because you're taking your car apart.
Settle Corsa, baby.
That's what all the best drivers do.
Keeping me sharp.
Seto.
Seto.
All right,
All right, let's roll.
get rolling. We don't want to keep him here too long. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josh Garcia, and this is the Revive Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Chuck Hu
Oh, hello.
and Corey.si.
Hello.
Shuck's over there, man in the ivories.
Yeah, yeet.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks for showing up, buddy. And last and certainly not least, Mr. Matt Tuccillo is here from Haggerty, the media side of things, not the insurance side of things. We are your title is actually video director, right?
Hilariously, yes.
Okay, that's what it says on.
Yeah, I know that's what it says, but it's disingenuous. I'm not like Hype Williams.
Yeah.
It should be more like director of video.
Right. I get it.
It's an
I get
insurance
it.
company, so it's video director.
Yeah, it's kind of, names are not always important. We are going to get into his role, how he found himself working for Haggerty, and why truly, not just because he's here in front of us, the 4 of us, do think that Haggerty, as far as the media is concerned, is seriously putting out some of the best content there is for the automotive enthusiast to consume on the internet. So here we go. Matt, let's start it as simple and early on as possible. How do you start to work for an insurance company as seemingly a content creator and a media, guy?
Oh God. I wish I had a short answer for you, but I met my current boss when I had a business that was failing. So earlier in the pandemic, I started a company called Wall Street Motorsport, which was an online car auction site. It was designed to be kind of undercutting on price.
Yep.
Because it was just me and a few other people. We had some good successes early on, but within like 3 weeks, we ran out of inventory. So I had to kind of fold up shop. And I had met Larry Webster, who's my boss right now. And I was kind of talking to him about like state of the industry and all this other kind of stuff. And then a good mutual friend of ours, Bill Caswell, was talking to Larry like a month or two after like my business went under. And he was like, oh yeah, like Matt's business didn't work out, like whatever. And Larry hit me up. He's like, hey, are you looking for work? And I was like, yeah, I'm open to work. Like, let's talk. And basically they were making a lot of investment into digital content.
Yep.
Right? They've got the Drivers Club magazine, which goes to like 750,000 people.
Yep.
Which is, are we past 30 seconds now?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking bananas.
Yeah. That is bananas for a print
No, it
publication.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my start in the business doing car magazines in New York, right?
Okay. 0 to 60, right?
0 to 60
Oh, shit.
rides and donk box and bubble.
Oh, praise
Wow.
God.
Wow.
Which
We've got an
obviously-
entire episode dedicated to Donk Box and Bubble.
Right.
And we have 2 with Scotto on
With-
it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we harass him about that magazine as
Yeah,
well.
That was a fun book.
Oh, my God.
But distribution was, if we did 50,000 copies,
Yeah.
that was a big run.
750 is
750,
That's
yeah.
insane.
wild.
I mean, it's a huge magazine.
Yeah.
I get it, too, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
part
no,
of the
we-
Drivers Club right here. I get discounts on track days. It's the best.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Well,
business.
hey, thanks for giving me the discount, man.
But the book is Larry's baby. But from the media side, they were starting to really spend money on video.
Yeah.
They had a couple shows that were really successful. They had Redline Rebuild.
Yep.
They had Barn Find Hunter.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, this is going great. We should spend more in the space. So they were spending more in the space, and they had an outside group that was kind of contracted to help deliver, call it 60 pieces of content annually. But he didn't have the bandwidth himself to oversee it. I didn't have the experience necessarily to oversee it. So I had a background kind of doing stuff with Ken Block for a decade and all that. So I was like, well, I could transition over to this. I'd done a lot of deal stuff, partner relations, marketing, branding, all that. But we had a major video component, obviously, as a part of that. So Larry and I started talking, and he was like, we need someone to come in, help us manage what we're doing, spend our money smartly, and then create more content. The whole idea is just to create as much content as possible.
Yep.
It's all for free. All we want to do is get people stoked on driving, keep people driving, save driving, which I think is the official tagline we get from McKeel, our CEO. But it's like we want people to be excited to get behind the wheel.
Right.
And we don't care what you're driving. And that's part of what we're trying to do, right? We want something for everybody at the table.
Yep.
So, Larry and I had some good conversations, brought me in, and now I'm coming up on a year here at Haggerty.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And it truly, I get it. I get why an insurance company wants to,
Well, it's always on marketing,
Right.
right? We don't have Drake at State Farm.
Not yet.
And I'm sure all the ladies I've ever known in my life are like, oh man, he doesn't know Drake yet. Sorry, but we have always on marketing, and it's not too in your face. It's very much hey, it's Haggerty. We like cars.
Right.
We like cars. We like you.
literally the term, you're not trying to sell us insurance.
Right.
It just, that's
Exactly. Because, at the end of the day, we offer insurance for specific types of vehicles.
Yep.
Right? If you've got a Dodge Caravan you drive every day, we can't help you.
Yep.
Although we have a partnership with State Farm rolling out at the end of the year where there's some back and forth with the business stuff. But we're really focused on your non-primary kind of fun vehicles.
Yep.
Right? So your non-daily driver stuff. It's a great business. It's a good business model. Everyone there is really excited about what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which ultimately helps produce good content. That's a part of it. If you feel it makes you want to do it even more.
No, it does. That's the thing, right? Everybody on my team is excited about driving.
Yeah.
And they're into cars, which is incredible. I have a lot of people, and they come from a wide variety of backgrounds, but all of them love cars.
Yep.
Which I mean, you guys all like cars.
I was
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
When you have it's very
Right.
easy to do when you have a passion for
If
it.
you can find a job where you get to do something you
Yeah.
actually give a shit about every day,
It's literally life changing.
yeah, it's the best.
So you work with a bunch of different cinematographers,
Mhm.
obviously on camera talent, things of that nature. Are you guys communicating every day? Do you give them different projects, and say run with it, and then here's the final thing, or are you getting into the nitty gritty on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I'm kind of touching base with most everybody.
Yep.
I would say, hopefully.
Yep.
There are certainly days where I feel like I didn't get to people.
Right. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've got some guys that kind of are showrunners, right?
Yep.
They've got their shows they're responsible for. I can trust them to go out and execute, and then they'll either show me a rough cut or a fine cut. Sometimes we will have meetings ahead of time before we go out and get stuff. For example, the Barn Find team, right? They will put together their plan. Hey, we're going after these cars. There's a Pantera coming up.
Yep.
I won't give too much away, but later in the year, there's going to be a Pantera Barn Find. And we're coordinating on okay, what are we going to do about that? How do we kind of weave that into other things that we're doing? But at the end of the day, I'm working with pros, which is really nice. So I know I can kind of like, not let's like set it and forget it, but I know I can entrust them to go out, execute, and come back with a good product.
You know you're covered, right?
But then there's, we work with freelancers.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's like a little more hands-on.
Yep.
Just because it's like, hey, like
understanding styles.
Yeah, exactly. We work with great people, but they want to make sure that we're happy.
Yeah.
So it ends up being a little bit more kind of like dialogue back and forth. So we've got all that going on, and then in the last month we've actually started launching podcasts now.
Yep. Which
is also my department. And that's just another facet of what we're doing.
Layer of things.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with like Jason, and how did he come to? I truly don't know this personally. Like, he's obviously one of our just charismatic. How does that work with him? How much direction do you have to provide him?
Jason is a unique talent.
Yeah.
He does not need a lot of direction. My goal with Jason is I inherited him.
Yep.
He was already in when I got there, and he was part of why I was like down to kind of
this is right.
This guy does great work. Like, if I can work with him, like, that's awesome.
Yep.
But with Jason, my main job is to try and, I describe as clear the runway, right? If I can knock out all of the corporate bullshit, which, sorry to anybody listening that works on the corporate side, it's not actually bullshit. I understand it's important, but to people on the video side that don't understand corporate, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Right. There's.
I just want to cover that. I don't think your job's bullshit, but sometimes the bureaucracy of an insurance company with a federally regulated product is, it's tough.
Right.
But I try to clear the runway for Jason.
Yep.
Right. So really, it's enabling. So it's like, okay, like, we're looking for like a car. Okay, well, let me tap my network of people and try and find one.
Yeah.
Like, we just did Icons with the Lucid Air, right?
Yep.
Crazy cool car. Jason's take on it is that it's not just the car, but the company itself. It's Tesla 2.0, right? It's kind of taking all the lessons that you would have learned from Tesla over the last decade.
Yep.
And then applying it to a new luxury sedan.
Because they essentially did with, having being who it's run by.
But they wanted to convey like a fast car, right? So they were talking about getting like a C8 Corvette, and I was like, yeah, it's fast, but it's not visually fast, right? It's like you need something where like an 8-year-old or like somebody's mom or like whatever. That's a fast car, right?
Yeah.
So you need something Italian, loud, wing.
Yeah.
So they reached out to like Lamborghini, and they're like, oh, we don't have anything in the fleet for you guys, like whatever. And I was like, all right, I'm not giving up on this. So I was able to hit up a buddy of mine, Chris Marion, who is over at KW Suspension. And then he put me in touch with, and I'm blanking on the name of the garage. I have to look at my DM. I apologize to this guy's shop. But he put me in touch with a kid named Alex Choi.
Yep.
Who has a bit of a reputation online.
Bit of a Tesla jumper.
He was there for the Tesla jump. He was not jumping it, I want to clarify.
Yeah.
But Alex was great. Like, he showed up with his buddy in a pickup truck full of tires, and they came out and they just worked with us all day, and they did all the scenes we needed to do. But like, that's what I do. I try to like help make the product better.
Put people in positions to succeed, essentially.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just here to like kind of like put the final piece in if needed.
Yep. Support, essentially. And that seems like a very great position to be in because, again, like you said, you have the talent available. They come to you with what they're trying to produce, and you kind of fill in the blanks as needed.
100%. And the thing is, like, Jason's great. Him and his director, Anthony Esposito.
Yep.
Fantastic duo.
Which is just somebody I started after seeing, I think, the Icon series, I don't know, a year or two ago. I started just looking at Anthony's work and just kind of following that court because it's phenomenal. That's one of the best. We were showing Shook earlier the new Z video that was just put out.
Oh yeah,
the drag one. But instantly he's, not that we want to throw in or put another name out there, but he's like, this is like Top Gear quality level cinematography, and it just to see that coming out of, again, we say this grain of salt, an insurance company,
right? So that is the byproduct of me going to Jason, Anthony, and their editor, Robert Sanders. The three of them together, they're great. And I'm like, we need a drag racing show. We don't have one.
Yep.
We all know it's low-hanging fruit, but it's like, I mean, listen, our WoW, great.
Yep.
Hoonigans this versus that.
Yep.
Great. Any kind of like ultimate drag race motor trend, great. And people just want to watch that stuff.
Right.
So it's like, we need something for ourselves in this. what do you got? And Anthony actually had this concept of kind of doing like the slow down time.
That was wildly cool.
Such a cool shot.
But like the amount of science and maths and like just like calculations, and then the way you have to shoot it.
Yep.
And then, you know, for Robert to go in and then edit it and put in like all the little details. I mean, you know, they did that. So you saw that video Monday morning, 12:01 a.m. East Coast, right?
Yep.
They filmed that on the previous Monday.
That's awesome. That's super
Like
cool.
Rob was at the track with them, took the drives home, started cranking on it. They had rough cuts on the server like Friday night, and then, you know, Sunday night all uploaded, thumbed, just everything.
That's awesome.
And it did like it did 1 million views in like 2.5 days.
I'm so like anything we shoot, I itch to just finish it up and get it. Like I get it completely. Like when you're into it, you dive right into it and finish it and produce it. Like that's it. I'm here. Let me get this thing done. That's super, super cool to hear that.
Yeah. But I mean, those guys they're kicking out, you know, I would say content that is better than anything you're getting from Top Gear currently.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that we
and
get to bring that out.
And it's bite-sized pieces. Like you watch that, for instance, again, that New Z video, you watch it, you feel fulfilled and entertained. It's under 7 minutes long.
That one is under 7. Icons, I think we're trying to target, you know, like the 12 to 15 mark.
Yep.
So it's like, it's just enough, but it's not too much.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Revelations is kind of like the studio show that they do.
Yeah.
And that tends to be a little bit longer, but it's also, it's more of like a historical dive.
Yep. Information, entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
How many shows are you guys currently producing? Because the Red Line, is that still?
Yeah, so Red Line is still going.
Which, off topic, just one of the things I was looking at earlier was I was amazed. I always like to click on other people's YouTubes and just see what most viewed.
Yep.
And one of the Red Line, because I wasn't sure what was up top. And the reason I say that is because one of the drag racing videos was like just under 2 million. So I'm like, oh, wow, this thing is kicking. I want to see what the most viewed is. But one of the Red Line Resto videos, 42 million views.
Yeah, it's probably the Chevy Stove Bolt.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, so, and again, this was a show that already existed when I got here.
Yep.
My goal is just, again, help people keep doing great
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, for sure.
You know, so, you know, you got David, you got Ben, who's kind of like lead on the video and editing of that. You've got Jonathan on that as well. You know, these guys are working out of a great garage up in Traverse City, Michigan, where Haggerty is based. And it's sick. They've got every tool you could possibly want. But these guys found a way to make engine rebuilds super interesting. And it, like, to the point where a child would watch it, someone's grandmother would watch it, because it's just like it's a satisfying like time lapse.
Yep.
You know, and it's such a unique way of doing it, but it is labor intensive.
Yeah.
It's got that like ASMR touch to it.
To it, yeah, to a degree, yeah. And it's, you know, it's one of those shows that just does really well.
Yep.
You know, we've been doing a lot of updates on it, kind of like trying to teach people a bit more as we go. But you know, that's a fantastic series. So we have that going right now. We have Barn Find Hunter, which is back. It's on every other week for the rest of the year. What else do we have this year? We had The Appraiser. We had Rendered with Kaiser Salim.
Yep.
We had The Big Thing with Magnus Walker. We have a show coming out, which I'll tell you here. I don't think anyone is aware of this. We're doing a show with Sung Kang.
Oh, awesome.
He is self-producing, self-directing.
No way.
Yeah, and it's Sung Kang on the culture. That's basically him highlighting unique individuals that he's kind of come across in the world of automotive on his, like, you know, in his personal life, not his Han.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some tie-ins to like some of that, but
for sure.
You know, for example, I just got a copy of the first episode. It might not air first, but it's the first one we got. And it's this guy, his name's Eric, and he's out in LA, and he, you know, was chasing after like the 9-second Honda dream. Right?
I love to hear it.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
No, but like it's really fascinating. But like, not Han. Sorry.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but like, you know, Sung's whole thing is that he got linked up with this guy through Nissan Z stuff.
Yep.
And this guy kind of took him under his wing and really, you know, kind of acted as a mentor to him within the space. Like, just viewed him as a guy who was curious about cars, to the point where he would just let him kind of, you know, work on it and fail, and then kind of come and like let him actually learn and treat him like a regular guy instead of, oh my God, Hollywood guy.
Right.
So it's an interesting series. It's a 5-episode series, and it's all. What we did was like, hey, Sung, would you like to do something with us? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'd actually like to direct. I'm like, great. Whole thing is yours. Here's your bucket of money to go play with, and we want to support what you want to create.
Yep.
So we have that coming out later this year. I have a show in development with Larry Chen.
I was going to ask that because just today or the other day, I seen he posted something on his Instagram saying, for Haggerty, whatever it was, however he worded it. But I was like, oh, cool. He's going to start seemingly do some stuff with you guys.
Yeah, we have a series coming out with him in Q3.
Yep.
And that's going to be Larry plus a host / guest every episode. And we're focusing on, kind of modified vehicles.
Yep.
We don't have a good modified show going currently. And I think it's a good fit with Larry based on his background and then just kind of the connections he has. So we have that coming out later this year. We also have, what else we have going right now? We've got all of Jason's stuff. But we have so much content right now. I'm on the spot. I'm trying to think like what other shows. Oh, we have Beyond the Details.
Yeah.
Tim McNair.
Yeah, which I believe it was that Beyond the Details show. The one it started with the McLaren F1, the white one, and he was doing the dry ice blast. It was just.
Oh, you talked about that on here.
That's why we were fanboying over that.
Yeah, because we've talked about it several times, and then to see it, and then like,
right.
Holy shit.
So so I met Tim for a thing for Pebble Beach last year, and I went to a restoration place called Leyland Restorations outside of Philadelphia. It's almost like a house. Like it's like a beautiful little property. There's a pond. They got like a nice dog running around. They're like, that's a great place to be. But like inside, they're restoring like 250 GTO engines and stuff. It's just,
right,
bananas.
Just this gem, yeah,
it's ridiculous. And he, was there, and we were doing a Concours prep video with him as part of our Pebble Beach kind of package for the year. So I meet Tim, and he's just doing this insane prep work on like this Ferrari that's just in there, just getting cleaned up, ready to go get shown. But I mean, like, again, with the bamboo skewers.
I was going to say the level of detail just in cleaning the caliper of that McLaren.
Right. So, in sitting with him, he's like, hey, listen, man, like, I get really good access to stuff. I was like, tell me more. He's like, I've touched, he's touched like 35% of all McLaren F1s or something insane like that. Right, it's stupid.
Just
right?
Just a wild.
Yeah. But he's the guy. He is, Mr. Fox, right? He's the fixer, right? Oh, you got like blood all over the ceiling.
Oh,
guess what?
Yeah.
He'll get off the headliner.
Does he drive an NSX?
It's an hour away. I'll be there in 45.
Yeah.
He does have a Lancia Integrale.
Oh,
that counts.
He's
never mind.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, he's got the cred. But Tim was like, hey, listen, like I get this access, but like I don't want to do like just like a regular cleaning show. And I was like, all right, let me think about it. So. We came up with Beyond the Details, and the idea being like, okay, can we do something where we leverage his access and kind of get granular and like really show people like, okay, you've seen like an F40 at a car show or at a party or whatever, but like let's take you inside and like really show you some stuff, or like show him doing something you would never attempt to do, like polishing the rear Lexan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try that even if I owned the car.
Yeah.
Right?
Just hands off.
I would just be like, just give me a whole new glass. Like so, Tim's show is great. And then obviously McLaren F1s, super sexy, super hard to get your hands on. He has a great relationship with the team at RDS in Philadelphia. Kevin Hines there, excellent dude, one of only 2 mechanics that works on these things.
Yep.
And they brought us in, they hosted us, they were so great. And they're like, anything you need, we'll take the wheels off and how many times you want. And obviously, the owner of that car at the time was also just very generous in letting us film with it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a benefit that we as Haggerty have, is that there are a lot of people that understand that like we're not out here trying to like, capitalize on their generosity. Like we want to share the stoke
right
with everybody else. And typically these people are also really excited.
Right.
They don't care that like it's their car in the video. They're just like, please share with us.
Yeah, this will be a cool experience overall.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, they're overall the theme behind it is like you're getting to look at these cars in a manner you'd never get to generally see them.
Right.
See one at Pebble or something, or at we went to Newport recently and seen one there, but that's not an in-depth look of the engine bay with the wheels off. Inside the wheel well, it just all that sort of stuff.
Right. And we actually the season finale that will be out in 3 weeks or so. And it's going to be the F1 again because we really got a lot of content off of that.
Yep.
But that's going to be kind of like polishing parts of the exhaust.
Yep.
Cleaning the gold.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
boy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like now
That's
we're
right. That's
now we're at the rear end of the car, and that's
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
action's at.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a thing for you. I mean, the gold itself is a thing, but I've never seen anybody clean the gold or talk about cleaning the gold.
Well, so the technician there, Kevin Hines, he actually has like a little jar on the shelf
Oh my
of just all the gold scraps because like he works on all these cars and like
Yeah.
sometimes has to like replace segments of the gold or that it falls off when he's like taking things apart, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Always replaces it, but he just has like this jar of like McLaren F1 gold.
It's that's
And I was like, "What are you gonna do with that?" He's like, "I don't know yet. Like maybe eventually, like, if I have enough, I'll melt it down and make something. I don't know."
right,
Like,
right.
But it's super cool. It's awesome.
It's just it's such a nerdy car guy thing.
It really-
Like, because
it
if
really
you
is.
told me like this is a bottle of McLaren F1 gold,
Right.
get the fuck out of here.
Like, you wouldn't believe it unless it was on the shelf next to.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. Or
F1.
knowing who it came from, or what,
Right, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
whatever
Oops,
it might
scraped
be.
off a little more gold. Whoops. Right in the bottle.
Just so happens.
Gonna go down to the pawn shop after this.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
it's great. So are you constantly looking at the schedule to make sure you're covered for the how far in advance you in particular are you thinking?
I'm trying to think as far as possible.
Yep.
Which is tough because a lot of days I just get pulled to the weeds.
Right.
We are trying to have as much content as is realistic at all times.
Yep.
In a perfect world, unlimited budget, more people, would we want to get to like 5 days a week? Of course.
Sure. Right.
Right now, though, I think what we're trying to focus on is quality.
Yeah.
Right. My job, number one, is instead of just trying to like shit things out,
Yep.
take the time, do it right.
There's a level of production
Yeah, 'cause-
overall. Yeah.
For myself, coming into Haggerty as, kind of like a virgin Haggerty person, like not like a 15-year veteran, I view it as a premium brand. And when I say that, I mean, like, it's still accessible for everybody, right? But I think that, like, they do things in a slightly more, like, elevated way.
Right.
And I think our content has to reflect that. So you see that in the magazine.
Yep.
You see that on the website. Our website has fucking incredible stories, by the way. Like, people don't know about the media site, which is tough. But, like,
Yeah.
we got great writers.
Yeah.
And they've got great stories. But
And we could have a whole conversation
that's a whole-
about just content in general and how
but it's always higher.
going back to the how many magazines are produced like that
Right.
that's incredible. But right, yeah, there's always something else, and I completely get that's what we strive and try to do here. Just no, if we're gonna do something, let's try to make it the best we possibly can.
Exactly.
So what are you working on this week in particular?
Oh, fuck. This week in particular, let's see. We have a new Revelations coming out tomorrow. Nissan Z.
Yep.
We obviously had the Z drag race.
Yep.
On Monday, we had a red line this week. We have a barn find next week. That's currently our server, our jellyfish server. The power unit failed, so our editor cannot edit currently. So
Ooh.
the episode is halfway done. We will get it done.
Yep.
The power source should be there tomorrow. That's kind of a fire. I was working on a podcast situation space for the Viva Bastardo show.
Yep.
On the way here, just because we have to go through legal, facilities, insurance.
I was just
There's a lot of it's like an onion, right? There's a lot of layers, and most
yeah.
of them stink. But it's
Yeah.
and the reason I was that kind of was one thing I wanted to ask is, again, it was referenced on Old School Top Gear multiple times. Clarkson has said, there were certain things we couldn't do. We just couldn't get the insurance for it. I mean, how does that work for you guys?
right. So the beautiful thing that we have that nobody else has, right, is that I can insure damn near anything.
Yeah.
Like most people can't do that.
Right.
So like, I don't know, like Throttle House, right? Really awesome dudes, great guys. They were gracious enough to kind of come make a cameo in Jason's like last Icons.
Yeah, it was
episode.
great.
And it goes back and forth. They're great dudes, but I think they would probably struggle to be able to insure like shooting with McLaren F1.
Right, for
as an
sure.
Example. Whereas I make 2 phone calls and a few Slack messages, and the next thing I know, I've got a COI for $25 million.
Yeah.
Because we have we understand like what we're doing with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
the value.
You don't have to, right. You don't have to prove yourself, or not even yourself, but like prove what you're trying to accomplish with this thing.
Right.
You're not going to throw it off a cliff.
Right.
You know?
And, I think that's the advantage that we have is that we can get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
Here, you can obviously do whatever you want without insurance.
Right. But there's,
You can poach roads. You can do all that kind of stuff. People do it. I'm not saying you should, but people do it. But if you're doing things the right way, we have the ability to do it more than anybody else.
yep. And like you said earlier and alluded to, like you have to. I mean, you're,
Right.
because of who you're working with, you have to make sure you.
Yeah. I have to operate
eyes
a
and-
higher standard than
Yeah,
most.
yeah.
Because again, we are representing a multi-billion-dollar valuation insurance company.
Yeah. There's essentially there's risk associated.
There is risk, and there's some people that get very nervous.
So that's what I wanted to ask is how often do you hear, hey, can we not do that anymore? Or have you had to shut anything down?
No, I fight tooth and nail.
Yep.
To keep things up.
Understand it for right.
Yeah, and I think I can usually find a way. If it's not compromised, I can usually find a way to word things, or at least convince people to kind of like see the light.
Yep.
And get on board. At the end of the day, everyone there really loves what we do. Like it's it's a source of pride for like a lot of people in the company, right? Because like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, like I work at Haggerty, but like we also make this great content.
Yep.
And like my family sees it, they're stoked.
Makes it unique.
Yeah. So like they all want to help us achieve that goal, but understand that they all want to keep their jobs,
Right,
And they also
right.
have to cover
Yeah.
their asses,
Right. Right.
So it's a fine line.
I was
But
going to say,
that's part of the job is finding a way to walk that line and make
Yeah.
sure that we can keep them in their jobs, but
and still,
still kind of do what we want to do.
right. In a way, educate them on
Right.
what's going to go down or what's in the
Yeah.
in the planning process, or
I have a guy coming out to the next Icon shoot.
Yep.
He's like on he's on the risk side.
Right.
Like, I just want to see it.
Yep.
So I'll bring him out.
Yep.
And then maybe if something's riskier, I'll take him to lunch.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't find this podcast.
Depending on the time of day.
Yeah, right. But we show them what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they see the end result and they know we're being safe. So
Yeah. You personally, do you shoot video yourself? Have you dabbled in that, photography, anything like that?
I have pinch hit on photo and video
Yep.
over the years. Not recently. I used to do it when I was working for Ken.
Yep.
I would be somewhere in the woods on a rally, and one of the camera ops would just hand me a second body and be like, "Hey, would you mind getting a shot over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Like,
Yeah.
They would kind of set up like how they wanted it for their settings, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, great, nice panner, whatever." Plenty of like just like regular social shots.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're at a trade show.
Yeah, just keep stuff.
that kind of stuff. I've actually had a couple. I've had a couple shots that actually got used like in major films. Like all right, so in Gymkhana 9, like the key scene is, well, there's a couple of them, but like the one that got used for the cover, he's kind of coming across the train tracks, slow-mo before the train comes. So my buddy Pierre Wickberg was the DP on that. He's Swedish, amazing friend. And he was at the Video Village van, which is basically directly across from the train tracks. And he's got like all these people out there, like A, B, C, D, GoPro, all that kind of stuff. And he's sitting there. He's like, "Fuck, we don't have the head-on shot. What are we gonna do?" So he gets the Apple box and a sandbag and hands me like his like Sony that has like 6 seconds of slow-mo on it. Like you have to like time the.
I was
button
just saying
right.
at the time too, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And he's like, "All right, so I need you to just get this shot. Like, adjust the thing for the brightness so like the zebra stripes pop." Like, really talking to me like I'm a golden retriever, which I appreciate. Like, he knows his audience,
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, sure, got it, no problem." And got it a few times, and it ended up actually making it into the film.
That's awesome.
And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like,
Yeah, that's super cool.
yeah, like I'm not looking for like a video credit, but like at least I know, like,
No, yeah,
that was you.
I got a banger.
Just the,
Yeah.
right, you feel part of it. Like, oh, this
Yeah.
is really cool.
It was a lot more fun than just doing the deals and working with Ford.
Yeah. Throwing that on the resume.
So I was going to ask, how was it working with Ken?
Great dude, really smart guy. He ran a really smart operation on the race side. Like his whole thing, I like to think I learned a little bit doing that, but he wanted to just make it as easy as possible for the people that were like traveling and working with him to get the job done. Right. So it was really, God, I did a decade just kind of chasing around the globe.
Right.
with
Right.
him.
I was going to say, and dare I say, in the middle of the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
not like anything's ended now, but like that was when it was really coming to fruition.
Yeah, that was like prime years.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, granted, the 911 they just debuted for Pikes this year.
It was going to be
Oh, yeah.
wild.
That's
Right.
gonna be wild. Again, BBI,
Yep.
great builders. Oil Stain Lab, again, sick stuff. And they're always gonna have great artwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that formula is never gonna change.
Yep.
Right.
And Brian being such a graffiti nerd, realistically, because he,
Right.
he was stoked about that when we talked to him a while back.
He leans heavily on the Queen's upbringing.
Yeah,
at all
right.
times.
Right.
Like if he needs to like dial it up a little bit, like put a little more accent when he's talking in the room, and I'm like, oh, you're trying to do the Queen's thing. Got it. Okay.
What was cool is when we were there recently in Brooklyn, we seen the artist, another piece of his of the same dude who painted the outside of their current building.
It's a living thing.
Yeah,
Williamsburg.
yeah.
Yeah, it's across from the Williamsburg Hotel, like that open lot kind of thing.
Yeah, there's an open lot.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I recognize that. It's
Right,
cool.
I mean, he's it's known artists. And
Yeah.
even like their Gucci Ghost stuff now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, like I recognize that.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
It was an actual Gucci thing for a minute.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty fucking baller.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. So again, working with Ken just over a decade.
Again, solid experience. We had a lot of good times. I learned a lot. I got to do a lot of different things. Towards the end, it was the business side.
Yep.
At that point, I was over at the agency that was representing him. So it was just a lot of partnership work.
Yep.
Like making sure that we're A, selling things correctly, but B, like delivering on the deliverables, but also selling things that are realistic. So many people will just sell anything that's like not bolted down and not think about like, can we deliver on this?
Yep. Right.
Are we going to like take a loss on
at
this
one
deal?
point you actually have to,
Right. Yeah. So it was a lot of that. But again, smart guy, really understands how to market.
Yep.
He's one of those rare talents that can actually like do the number side of the head, of the brain, like go drive well,
And also know.
but also like when he's driving back from like the race, like or in between stages, he's thinking about like, oh, how do we market this?
Yep.
Like, oh, we lost a wheel and lost 10 seconds. How do we position that on social?
Yep.
So that it looks better than bad.
The reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Better than it actually is.
Yeah. So I mean, like he's a unique talent in that regard.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
As far as the business side goes, I know, is there a side of it that you in your current role, obviously you're kind of playing team manager, if you will, to keep the team moving.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get to do as much of the business side? And is there a side that you like more?
God, I like it all. I've been helping a lot on the commercial partnership side as of late. I was just down in Miami for the F1 race. Working on some partnerships there. We were brought out, and it was a very nice weekend. Good
Which is
hospitality.
truly, I feel like an up and coming market, especially in the U.S. Like it's so clear. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I'm helping them kind of position ourselves better to work with brands in terms of video and podcast content.
Yep. I mean, that's, again, like we said, 10 years.
It's what I have the experience doing.
Yeah.
I love making content. I love helping people make content. I love cutting the check for it.
Yeah.
I hate doing my own expenses.
Yeah.
I'm currently 90 days behind.
Oh my
That was
God.
also something I dealt with today, is that the head of accounting is like, hey, so I got to transfer your card. I was like, I got a trip next week. Could you wait 10 business days?
Yeah.
But I enjoy having the conversations with brands, trying to extract like, okay, what are your goals, right? Like, what do you want to be doing? What's important to you? And then, the great thing is I'm at Haggerty, so like, we have something for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you sell watches? Well, we have shows that could work for you, or we have a podcast that works for you. Cleaning product? Got you. Oil? Of course. Come on over.
Right.
But we can do even financial services. We can offer compelling marketing opportunities for these brands in a way that doesn't feel gross. Because that's the other thing. Like, I don't like doing anything that feels icky.
Right.
You see some things, and it's like, oh,
there's so much of it these days where it's clearly forced. Like, it's just, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, and I understand. Listen, we gotta keep the lights on.
For sure.
I have no problem being marketed to.
Yeah.
but I think there's a way to do it that feels like organic.
I was just
not cringy,
as natural as possible.
right?
Yeah, I mean, just that's always that's the way I think. I don't want this to feel forced in any
Right.
way.
Well, we also have the luxury of yes, we would like to at least break even on what we're doing,
Right, right.
but it's not job number one. Job number one is make sure it's the right fit
Yep.
first and foremost, and if it's not, we don't do it.
Yeah.
So
On a day-to-day basis, what is your favorite thing to do in general?
walk my dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a 6.5-year-old miniature long-haired wiener dog.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And I adopted him in May of 2020.
Yep.
So he's
Perfect timing.
I was going to
perfect.
say, yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
That's probably the highlight of my day. No, but I mean, I really, when I get to take a look at, either rough or fine cuts of things that we have,
Yep.
and just see them before they go out,
Yep.
and just make sure that everything's kind of like still hitting. That's probably the highlight of the day. But again, I also like when I can kind of help people in the team either problem solve or like, oh, they're having trouble with their computers and the software. All right, well, how can I help get that solve going?
I was
on
gonna,
the
oh,
corporate
okay,
side?
right. So you have to deal with, I mean, again, a changing technology landscape, especially when it comes to photography, filming stuff.
Yep.
Again, there's almost a new firmware every couple of weeks, different software, things like that. So you also help just kind of navigate people through those issues as well.
Well, okay. When I say help, I mean I don't understand any of that stuff,
But at least,
but I know how to be like, okay, so the security software is slowing you down.
Yep.
Let's get the conversation started, and then if I got to kick it up a level, I kick it up a level. And
Yep.
then my boss kicks, so like it's stuff like that.
right. Just, again, as you said earlier, just help things along.
Problem solving.
Do you have any current project cars?
I have no current project cars. I have a desire to have a project car, but I live in Brooklyn.
Right.
I'm thankful I have a parking spot, and I have one vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible enthusiast at this stage of my life. Like I am enthusiastic, but I am not currently partaking. I also do not have the time.
You're doing what you got to do. Right.
I think my contribution to the enthusiast section is that I get to help make content
Yeah.
enthusiasts want to watch.
I mean, you're producing, right. Overall,
You
you're
know,
you're
like-
part of a big thing.
I don't have like a sick build. Like no one's ever gonna take a photo of my car.
Yeah.
But I can give them content that they will watch.
Yeah.
So I'm still indirectly,
You're not driving anything boring though.
I was going to say, right.
Yeah, no, I got the D90.
And you were
it's a
explaining to
cool
us how
truck.
you were dailying Raptors in New York City.
I was, I was definitely.
That's contributing.
I was a masochist for a while. Yeah, I also, parking Raptors in Brooklyn and Manhattan is not fun, but it is doable.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of like know the hours and.
I thought you were gonna say it's great. You just park wherever you want.
Yeah, no, I've jumped over like some curb cuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna
Parked
around
on
this.
mini cars and all that.
Listen, steel bumpers are very handy.
Backed over any scooters, maybe?
Oh man.
Yeah. What's with the
On-
scooters out
Yo,
there?
fuck Revel scooters.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
what
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
You put me on record. They can come see me. They leave those things everywhere.
Oh, no.
we know.
And,
Yeah.
like,
We know.
honestly, so like, okay, so
We're
the,
on record fucking them up.
right. So like the parking people, like the people at tow.
Yeah.
Whatever they-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police department tow.
Parking
people, right?
authority, yeah.
Whatever they are, right? I will see these guys and they'll have like the Revel scooter on the lift and like they're writing the ticket. They're gonna take it to the impound yard over by the Navy Yard. And I was walking the dog one morning and like I looked at the guy. I was like, "Hey, can you just dump that in the river?" And the guy just like laughs. He's like, they hate them too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like people ride them the wrong way down the street.
Yep.
They ride them in the bike lane,
Sidewalk.
sidewalk, no helmet, just.
Yeah. Whatever. It's free for all.
And again, this company just gets like just litter them all over the place. And
That's what it is. It is. It's a litter.
It's littering. No,
Yeah.
it's
best
littering
way.
for profit.
It's
And
the largest plastic bottle you could find.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With a lithium battery.
Yeah.
And then if like someone knocks it over, it just beeps incessantly.
Oh, does it?
Oh, there's a beep.
We didn't hear that.
We drove away at speed.
Yeah. So I'm not here for the Revel scooter.
Yeah.
No.
Neither are we.
Yeah.
We are aligned.
wholeheartedly against them.
What other kind of project cars or vehicles have you owned in the past? We talked obviously D90 Raptors.
Oh man.
I mean, you obviously been driving for a little while now. You
I
must have
have.
owned some cool stuff.
Like moderately okay stuff. So I had a 2000 Golf GLS with a 180 in it.
Okay.
And that was probably, the European bumpers, mirrors.
Yeah, the whole 9.
Audi TT wheels, KW coilover.
Yeah.
Did like a Wolfsburg interior.
What was your
There we
Vortex username?
Okay, we're not going down that road.
All right, fair enough.
Trying to dox him.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't exist anymore. I had that. I had a 20th anniversary GTI for a moment in yellow.
That's awesome. My Mola. Yeah.
I brought some of those parts over to that car, and I traded that on a B5.5 S4.
Oh man.
I had that slammed on its nuts, and then drove for like 6 months, and then moved to New York.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So I just left it back in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So I left it at my folks' place. They were very generous. Occasionally, my mother would take it out around town just to keep it like moving. And people would like text me or call me, and be like, "Yo, are you home? Like, I saw your car driving around." And I was like, "Oh, no, my mom's probably driving it." But like, she's driving around like just like a regular suburb of Pittsburgh in like a slammed Audi S4. Got rid of that, and then went without a car for a while because I was at car magazines.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always driving something else.
Yeah.
And then I needed something of my own, and I bought like a 2006 maybe like Mini Cooper S,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
which was navy. My friend's now wife nicknamed it the Navy Nugget, which I really did not appreciate.
The Navy Nugget.
I promptly sold it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, fuck, I got rid of this thing. But I got some parts through the magazine.
Yeah.
That, so I had like some Enkeis on it. I forget maybe it was KWs. Some sticky tires, some seats. Yeah, just basic stuff.
Yeah.
That car was a riot in the
Hell
city.
yeah.
And
I had a 2002. And then what year was yours?
2002 as well.
Yeah.
so we've all been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
S owners, those things are killer.
Yeah.
Nugget gang.
They're all dead now.
Nugget gang, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like I used to like drive it into Soho on a Saturday and just tag up on something, just park anywhere.
Yeah, wherever you want.
And that was like the last kind of like fun kind of car. And then it was like a Range Rover Sport. Had that in Utah.
Some utility based stuff.
Some
Yeah.
utility stuff. And then I blew up the rear differential on that.
Oh, wow.
Driving 300 miles on a donut.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah. Took it to the dealer, and they didn't catch the rear differential. It was like just out.
Yeah.
So I picked it up. It was like vibrating like a washing machine or like off balance. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Took it in. They finally they're like, listen, we're really sorry. Your rear differential's just shot. And I was like, oh, cool. Great. Thanks.
Yeah.
But they felt bad. So they gave me like 14 grand on the thing. And I was like, oh, that's fair for a busted ass Range Rover. And I'd seen they just got like a Gen 1 with the 6.2 in it, like on trade.
Yep.
And I was like, what do you give me for that? I'm like, I'll cut you a deal on that. I was like, all right, cool. So I ran like, the dinosaur truck for a while.
Yeah.
Became a Raptor guy.
Became a Raptor guy
Absolutely,
overnight.
dude.
Which, I always liked them.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Hard
Yeah.
not to like that,
Yeah.
right? So I had that in the city for a while. And I used to be on the phone trying to park it. I'd be like on the phone with my girlfriend at the time trying to find parking. I would just be like screaming. I feel really bad. I should probably apologize to her for that because that was not fair. But had that, moved out to California for a minute. Ended up getting a great deal on like a 2018 brand new, like ordered from the factory.
Yep.
There it is.
Traded the Gen 1 and the Gen 2, ran that out there, brought it back to New York. Went
Raptor,
back-
does New York again.
yeah. Raptor takes New York part 2.
Yeah.
And then moved back to California right before the pandemic, and then had that out in California. And then when I came back east, I was like, all right, like I'm not doing the truck in the city again.
Yeah.
And again, used car prices were high. People wanted trucks, and the Land Rover dealer near my folks' house happened to have a D90 that I was like, I like that spec.
Yep.
And they paid me more than I paid for the truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna
Keyword, they paid you.
They
Yeah.
paid me.
Yeah.
So I was like, we're going to leave the casino on a high note.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen.
Does
Yeah.
not always happen. In this
Yeah.
market, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the D90, and, I like it a lot. It's definitely the right truck for me right now.
Yep.
I could definitely make it part of a 2-car solution, which I'm a big supporter of.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the hard part is, what is the second car?
Right. What would it be right now if you had your choice?
I was just about to ask, what would your project car be?
What would my project car be? I like to think that I would do something really stupid.
There we go.
Like,
I mean,
like
we all
Italian,
do.
like Italian,
Ooh,
like
that's
like
stupid.
Italian stupid,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like, oh, can I find a high mileage like 430 or like a 348, like something like
Yeah.
like that. Just if I fuck it up, it doesn't matter. So I get the mile.
Daily
Like,
driver's
yeah,
English.
but you get
Project Cars Italian.
yeah, right.
Wow.
You like to walk, don't
You
you?
must live
I
close
walk
to a lot of things you like.
I got the subway. I got the bus.
Yeah.
I got city bike.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. Like realistically, it'd be something German.
Yeah.
I'd probably start with a 9 and end with a 1.
yeah. yeah.
I feel like a basic bitch.
The
saying
natural
that, but-
progression of a Volkswagen
Well,
kid.
that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah, that's where you end
Like,
up.
You start in a Volkswagen Golf,
Yep.
and you're trying to get to a nicer Beetle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The stretch.
You get to the
feel.
TT
Yeah.
halfway.
You gotta have
Yeah.
something
yeah.
recognizable.
Which,
yeah.
and by the way, I firmly believe that the first gen TT is still a good looking car.
Oh, it's
Oh, it
great.
definitely is.
Yeah.
That's
Mine's out there on a poster. It just my old one. Yeah.
It's a fancy Mark IV.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
man of
for
culture here.
sure. For sure. A little bit more power. You felt way more luxurious on the interior.
You had the
Right.
4 rings up front.
Four ring,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
looked
Well,
cool.
and the baseball stitch interior was clutch.
Yep.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
The cloth interior
Yep.
was really nice. There was a period of time where like the German cars, you could get really dope sport cloth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
a lot of people didn't go for it.
Right.
You showed me like an E46 with like a sport cloth interior.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is probably one of my last questions.
Okay.
How do you feel about the state of cars overall and the future of cars?
Oh wow, that's heavy. The state of cars overall, I think we're in an okay place right now in terms of enthusiast cars. We have a lot of options still, which is nice. There's a lot of cars that I don't personally have an interest in, but I'm glad they exist. Right? For example, like the new Z, right?
Yep.
Doesn't do anything for me, but again, it's a relatively affordable 400 horsepower rear-wheel drive manual transmission, brand new sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, even saying that
Right.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, short of it being a Corvette,
Right.
it's just, wait, that's going to exist in the future?
Right. You're going to roll that out in 2022?
Right.
Like so I think, we have some good options for that. And obviously those will trickle down into the secondary market.
Yep.
Which then it opens up a lot of doors for other people. GR Corolla.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Wild.
That's-
Another
that-
car,
I did
never in a
not
million
think
years.
They were gonna, so we got that drivetrain over here. That's great.
Yep.
And then, I think people still care about cars. We're also now in a really interesting period where there's a lot of stuff you can import from Europe and Japan because we're now into the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of good stuff. Now, granted, like, are you going to get an R34 GTR at this point? I don't know. Do you have 250 grand? You want to just have
Right.
parked in a port in Japan right now?
That market's changed quite a bit.
That has changed
Yeah.
quite a bit, but it's still cool
Yeah.
that those are available. I wish they weren't necessarily investment devices.
Yep.
That part really bothers me a lot about what we're doing right now. There's
Completely agree.
a lot,
Yeah.
and I hope that there's a lot of people out there holding F40s that thought they were going to flip it and cash it big.
Yeah.
And I hope they're feeling the pain right now.
Just like a Raptor. They thought they were going to rake it in.
Right? Like diamond hands, huh? All right, let's see.
Yeah, you
Let's
keep
see.
holding.
That's right, you keep holding.
We talk about this every week.
Right.
We're waiting for the collapse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is not sustainable.
Yeah.
If you're making money right now, I salute you. I hope everyone is ready for some sort of a correction at some point.
The pendulum is going to swing.
Right. But
Yeah.
I still, I think in general we're in a good place. Obviously, this is kind of the last hurrah.
Yep.
I think Dodge does a great job celebrating the combustion engine.
Big celebration.
Celebrating those
Yeah.
Eagles. Yeah.
Hats off to those guys. But like,
Talk about going out with a bang
yeah, right. They're like fucking Hellcat everything.
for 10 years. We'll just
10
keep
years.
going.
But we're still seeing like great performance products out of the Germans.
Yep.
Hell, even the Brits.
And there are a few manufacturers who have said, nope, yes, we will make EVs and hybrid stuff, but we're not going to completely get rid of the internal combustion stuff. So,
Right. And like the EV stuff is good. Like I drove a Rivian a couple months ago.
Yep.
I was impressed. Like it's, if I was in the market for that kind of a vehicle,
sure.
I'd still rather have like a TRX or something. But it's, it's a very well built, well executed like electric truck. And I
Yep.
think, I have not been in the new electric F-150 yet.
Mhm.
The new Lightning, which I hate calling it the Lightning.
Yeah, just-
Yeah.
But
I get why they
Ford's
did
really
it. But
killing us with the names lately.
oh god,
what was it? No, that was Dodge was the Warlock, right?
That was a
have
Warlock
Was
edition.
it
they have
Warlock
a Warlock
edition?
edition.
Yeah.
The Warthog. is
Warthog. That's what it
Warthog
was.
was
The
the
Warthog Bronco. Yeah.
Right.
they quickly took that
I
away.
feel like the naming room at Dodge is like just like a bunch of dudes. Like, what's a cool name? You know, like just like slamming beers in Detroit and like, oh, it's a great like.
Yeah, they're just playing. What's that game you throw the bean bags?
Oh,
Cornhole.
Cornhole. They're playing cornhole and pounding Coors Lights.
Yeah,
Just
just
coming up with the
names and ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
My
I
kid
like.
really likes the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put skinny tires on it and get rid of the passenger seat. That sounds a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or like they're following Hoodville, like it's Demon Time, and it's like, oh, that's a great name for a car.
Yeah, we could have a demon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's still a good time to be an enthusiast.
Yeah.
Will it stay that way? I think so. Here's the thing. It's not like we're just gonna like they're not gonna come to your house and like take your car.
Right.
Like everyone's like,
Well, sorry.
okay, they're gonna take his car.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
They might.
You're gonna get in that later in the show when I'm gone.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it later. It's going to be great.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit coming. But I think that, and again, this is part of Haggerty's mission, right? We're here to provide coverage for people that love cars and want to keep driving cars. And when I say cars, I mean like combustion vehicles.
Enthusiast-based
Yeah,
cars.
so
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. And
Yep.
our numbers are growing. It's not like our business is shrinking.
Right.
Like the book of business is expanding because
Right.
like more people are now getting, are more people flush with cash right now? Sure. Absolutely. But our book of business is growing because more people are like, yeah, you know what? Like, I really like getting in a car and just going for a drive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm not too worried. Like I feel like I have job security for a while at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, truly, thank you for coming to hang out. I think
Thanks
that's
for
a
having
great
me.
place to end. We could honestly sit and talk about your career and things automotive wise, I'm sure, and for hours. But again, truly appreciate you coming to hang out, making the drive,
Yeah.
and spend some time with us.
Listen, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, it's been awesome.
Thank you.
Those out there listening to YouTube, we will be right back. And those listening audibly on the old podcast there, we'll see you in a minute.
Sounds good. Shook, you going to sing these guys out?
Hell yeah.
Okay, YouTube live
Pause
people.
on that. Yeah,
Just hold on
YouTube.
for a second.
We'll be back.
Shook's going to talk to you. Shook's taking questions on the chat room. Go ahead, Shook. You got this, buddy.
Actually, yeah, I'll leave.
Think about it.
Yeah, just...
Hello. People from the center of the universe. Yeah, wait till you guys get back and then we'll... Alright, it's just you and me, you sons of bitches. Fuck you. Yeah. All right, listen, motherfuckers. You listen here, you listen good. I'm going to end the stream. But don't be sad. Because we'll be back in 10 minutes. And I promise to slap a gummy bear's ass. Okay? So stick around. Fuck around and find out.